Jared pulling Frono's Photo.com. Welcome to Raw Edit number 42, which is brought to you by Drobo. They store all of my files. And yeah, you guys know what the Drobos are. If you don't know what the Drobo is, you can go to Drobo.com. But now it's time for Adam and I to do our edits. You guys have had a week to do your edits. Actually, not a week, but since Tuesday. And now, well, I saw a lot of great edits. There were a lot of great videos that you guys put together showing your edits. It's really cool to get to see you guys trying to do your edits or doing your edits on video for us to see and for everybody else to learn from, because you're always going to pick up new things from everybody that puts up a video and their edits. So I saw some crazy edits. There's some really great edits. There's some off-the-wall edits. Now it's time for me to do my edit and then throw it to Adam for his. So, it's a duck. I think it is a really quality image. Shot 1/160th of a second, f2.8, ISO 200 at 185 millimeters using the 80 to 200 2.8 on the Nikon D90. That D90 takes some incredible images, by the way. Let's see, nice and sharp on the duck. It's pretty close, pretty good. Nice feathers, and the water is nice. I just imagine getting great colors, and I don't want to go too far on the boomy right now because I don't want to lose the duck. I don't want to lose the feathers. So I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go like that. But I want to crop it first. The stick and everything's throwing me off. So I'm at an 8:12 aspect ratio, which is basically 2:3. So I just want to put the whole duck in there. I want to get rid of that stick. And enter. Boom. Do I like that better or do I not like that better? I don't know. You don't know what I like better. I don't want it cropped so tight. I think it looks pretty good with a lot of space, but I don't want that stick in there. So maybe I'm just gonna go tight and just do it anyway. No, I'm not gonna crop. I'm not gonna crop. No, I may crop. I'm gonna come back to the crop. Forget it. I'm going to make it warmer. Boom. Warmth. I want to pump up the colors. Boom. Too much on the, too much yellow in there with this vibrance. Saturation. Boom. Horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Way too much. So I want to pump up the saturation. Doesn't look as bad. I like that. I love the colors, the yellow, the warmth, the greens, the nice subtle browns. This may be where Mr. Phil calls, and then I fill it in with some blacks. Or maybe not. I'm just going to go with that. This is what's looking right to me right now. I'm going to go there. Let's see. No, don't want to add magenta too much, so I'm going to go with that. Move in on here. General sharpening that I always put in there. Let's see, what can we do with clarity? We're not going to go too far, because too far makes it look like not good. But I'm going to probably go further than I would with a person, which is to there. And we get that. What else can we do? So we've got... We can take yellow out. We can do this. Isn't it interesting how the grain formulates when you take out certain colors? So we're not going to do that too much. Let's see what our curves will do. Do we want some more highlights in there? Just a little bit. Do we want to lighten it or darken it? No, not too much. I'm going to go back to plain. Nope, don't gonna go too dark. And we could oversaturate the heck out of this, I am sure. But we're gonna go with that. I am feeling a post-crop vignette. I never can find the post-crop vignette. Hi, duck. Hello. No, I really wanted to draw us in because I didn't think the crop was gonna work after looking at it. I just want to draw us in. Feathered. You know, let's use a lot of feathering because it's a duck and they have feathers. So I went really heavy-handed on it. It's really heavy-handed. But I don't care. I'm doing it. I'm going heavy-handed and I'm going to own it. That's what I'm going to do to it. I'm going to own it. Just a few extra little tweaks here. And we've got ourselves a duck. My eye is going right into the center now. Let's see what Adam does. And that's my edit for this week. Adam, you are up.
Adam Lerner, and welcome to this week's Raw Edit. And this week we have a cute duck or a ducky floating around in a pond, maybe. That would make sense. And what really works for this shot is, beside the beautiful buttery bokeh and how soft and kind of warm the image is, and the duck being so cute, the reflection, it's a mirror image of this duck in the water, and it really just, it works really nicely. Now, there's a couple things about this image that, I don't want this to be a photo critique, but, the photographer shot this at ISO 200 at 1/60th. And if we really look in there, the focus is a little bit soft. I would have liked to have seen more edge detail in this image. So we're going to have to do some sharpening, of course. And I would have shot maybe at a higher ISO and a faster shutter speed. Pump that up, to maybe ISO 800 and maybe a 400th of a second or so. And it probably would have locked it in a little bit better. But anyway, this is not a critique. I think the image is still very cool, nicely done. And, I want to punch this image up. I want to give it more clarity, more sharpness. I still want to keep the softness, of the overall look of it with the buttery bokeh. I kind of like, the reflection of this tree branch in there, but I might do a crop as well. So let's get right into this. So first thing we're going to do here is I'm just going to pump up the exposure just a little bit. And I'm masking it off with the Option key over here just to see my overexposed areas, because I really don't want to overexpose too much. I'm also going to add a little bit of fill just to open it up a little bit right there. Okay, blacks. I'm going to mask it off as well, and I'm going to bring in my blacks. And I don't want to underexpose too much because, already we're losing detail in the chest of the bird right here. And contrast, I'm going to pump up some contrast. Now, doing all of that, blacks and contrast, we lost some detail. So again, we're going to add more fill. We're going to keep going until about there, because I really want to see this detail. And right off the bat, let's add some clarity. And, we'll go somewhere. Actually, we're really going to pump it up a lot. We're going to go there. And right off the bat, let's look at the before and let's look at the after. It's a much different kind of a look here. I'm actually going to pump the exposure up just a little bit more. And let's see, the color temperature, maybe I'll just drop that down a little bit, somewhere around there. I just want to see what it looks like pumped up. That's kind of cool, actually. Wow. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to keep it maybe at about there. Let's look at the before, let's look at the after. Now we really kind of have a sense of time of day. We got a lot more happening over here. Sharpening, well, I guess I'll grab the beak and I'll pump that up a little bit to there. I'll mask it off, so I'm going to sharpen, or at least hope to sharpen, the edge detail and not so much the texture. Okay? And I really like the way that this is looking right here. Now, just for the fun of things, let's try to do a crop. So I'm going to hit the R key to go into the cropping module, and I'm just going to kind of bring this down over here, and bring that down over there. Just want to kind of lose that branch. Just going to bring this down here. Let's just see how that looks. That's actually kind of surreal. There's something really kind of nutty about it, but I don't know that I like it. So let me just bring this up to about here. You know what? We kind of lose the context in there. So let's go back to maybe a less aggressive crop and, maybe do something like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. I'm just going to keep playing with this a little bit more, somewhere like that. I don't mind losing this bit right over here, and some of this kind of brownish stuff over here is not spectacular for me. So let's go down here like that. I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to say that that's going to be my crop. So in looking at this, I really feel that we just need to do something just to bring you more into the center of the frame here. So I'm going to add some post-crop vignetting, and already to me that's looking a little bit better. I'm going to bring it up to about there. I'm going to mess with my midpoint a little bit. I want to kind of go for a dramatic effect. Why not? We'll get some roundness over there, and then we'll just feather it in there to kind of give it more of a natural blend. We'll go before and we'll go after. I think I'm probably going to leave it there. Let me just mess with saturation a little bit. Let's see what happens. Wow, that's kind of crazy. If we go down, actually, you know what? Reducing saturation gives it a little bit of a more realistic look in some way. So let's do that. That was vibrance. I'm sorry. And let's see what's happening with saturation. That's almost black and white. You know what? Let's keep the saturation somewhere around there. And let's look at the before and let's look at the after. And you know what? I'm happy with that edit. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm excited to see that all you guys did some amazing stuff on the forum, and I'm looking forward to see what Jared's got as well.
So we are back with Adam in the bottom corner. Adam, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And this week is something a little different. Instead of having Adam see my screen before to see my edit and his edit, I wanted to get his gut reaction as soon as we shared screens, and I wanted to get it. What?
Show me.
You ready? I'm going to share full screen right now.
Make it go away.
Did it load yet?
What happened?
Did it load yet?
Yes.
And what do you think?
I think Barney came and kind of like sneezed on your screen or something.
Why? What's wrong with it?
It looks purple.
No, it doesn't look purple.
Yes, it looks purple.
Maybe your share didn't load good enough.
I'm looking at the head of the duck. Can you zoom in on it?
Yes.
You don't see a magenta cast on the body and the head of that thing?
Nope, not terribly too much. Anything else? You care about the post-crop vignette going totally boomified?
You took it to the nth degree, my friend.
Yeah, I did. I did. I slid the slider all the way over.
You slid the slider. Fantastic.
Slid the slider. Did you did you check out any of the people's edits and videos this week yet?
I have to say that I was incredibly impressed with the high quality level of edits and videos that people have been putting up there. It's amazing.
How awesome is it to watch other people, you know, for us to sit back and just watch people put up their videos and see and learn stuff from theirs.
It's great. I mean, you know, that's the beautiful thing about photography is that there's never really one right way to do something, and it's always great to see other people doing it.
Absolutely.
I love that. Absolutely.
So I'm going to comment on your edit now.
You must you?
Yeah, I think it's a little flat.
Little flat.
You know how I am.
Why don't you bring up the original unedited image? I think that would be a good thing to do in this case.
And here we are. Yeah, that took a little bit more time, so that's why I cut the video and we started
We had to take
back.
a little pause for technical
technical corrections. All right, so here it is. You see now the edited version as well as the mine top left, Adam's top right, and the unedited raw file. So what do you want to say?
No, I mean, you said that mine looks flat, and I think compared to yours,
yes,
it looks flat, but it also doesn't look purple.
Okay.
You know, look, I think nature shots are you know, they're tough because in one sense, you know, I wanted to try to go for somewhat realistic with this.
Yeah.
What makes it surreal is the incredibly amazing reflections that are going on in the water.
No, your edit's really good. I mean, you have the eye here. It's obviously a little bit of out of focus, and I didn't notice that as much until I zoomed in, and that's because it's shot at 200 ISO in bright daylight at 2.8. I mean, there's no reason for that. You just not a rule of thumb, but you know, you see 1/60th of a second, you're using an 80 to 200, you're breaking that rule of you're not supposed to have your shutter speed slower than your focal length, and in this case, there's no reason to shoot at just 200. Even if you dumped it to 400 ISO, your shutter speed would have gone to 3/20th of a second, giving you plenty of room. And not to get over technical, but 185, you would have to multiply that by 1.5 to get whatever focal length you're using, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so in this case, I personally may have been at, like, knowing me, I would have been at like 800 ISO in bright daylight, but that would have given me an f3.5 or so at about 1/1000th of a second. I don't know. That's me. I'm a speed freak. I rather have...
You know, the funny thing is in my video, said the same thing.
Oh, you did?
Similar thing. I would have been at ISO 800. Even with the D90. The D90 is very capable at ISO 800 in daylight. And that 80-200, that's an amazing lens. I own that lens. I love that lens. And to be honest, if I didn't really need to sell it to buy my 70 to 200 VR2, I would have absolutely kept that lens.
I owned, that was the first lens I ever bought.
It's an amazing lens.
And yeah, it was great for the time, but when I got an opportunity to get one of those VR1s back in the day, I did.
Sure.
But so yeah, let's get back to the image.
Sure.
I think your image is great. You know, comparing them all together, mine is just, I went boom to the extreme, lose a little bit of detail up in the noggin of the bird. In the noggin of your bird, it looks very realistic. The whole bird looks good. The feathers and everything look nice. They do look very realistic, and you know
what I really like about your edit is that it almost looks as if you're kind of peering through bushes or something. It gives it a little bit more of like intrigue.
Yeah, I see it.
And I think that in this case, because the bird is so isolated and just in water, I mean, look, the context for this is the water. But you have no idea. Are we in a lagoon? Are we in a pond? Are we in a park? So the way that you've edited, almost like you're peering through something to see it, and I like that.
I almost cropped it, but I couldn't get a good enough crop that felt right on just the bird and the reflection. It just seemed like it was too tight. It was out of context. And, you know, you were losing most of the water, which is what you wanted to see. So that's why I didn't do that. But I decided to go with the post-crop vignette. Just to do it, basically. No other reason than just to do it. And nature shots, you can go to the extremes with saturation and vibrance more, because it's not a human. If this was a person, they'd probably look nice and yellow or orange because of what I did with the saturation.
Yeah. I gave it a little bit of a crop. I brought that reflected twig more toward the corner, and I lost the one that was like kind of just mirroring it there. I also did some post-crop vignetting, and you know, I felt that it just kind of the detail that's kind of around the top of the frame I found to be a little bit less pleasing, so I kind of went for getting rid of that and just vignetting it.
Cool.
But I think that it's a really playful shot, you know, with the reflection, the kind of double-headed bird. It's neat, you know. Somebody had a good eye for this one.
Yep, great job. Great job on your guys' edit. I really like this method where I put up a raw file on Tuesday for you guys to go ahead and try your hand at before Adam and I even put up a raw edit, because this way we're not giving any influences on what you could do, and we get to see what you guys get to do and see all the really cool videos and photos that you guys make. So I think we're going to continue doing this, and I thank Adam for joining me.
Thank you.
And I thank Drobo for being the sponsor again. And that's about it. We will see you next week. But if you want to send in a raw file, please be sure to do so. froknowsphoto@gmail.com. And maybe I will pick your raw file and Adam will edit it. And the rest of the world will get to edit it. So great job, everybody. Jared Poland, froknowsphoto.com. See ya.